Good morning and welcome to this morning edition of Contracting Chatter. How are you doing? Whew. You know what? I can't spell this morning. There we go. And we are live. I'm your host, Luciana Turner, and we're going to get this party started. This morning, we are talking about. Now, I know you've heard me say on multiple occasions certifications are useless unless you're going for the 8A. I want to explain that position. And before I get into the content, straight into content, I want to introduce myself and deep dive into what this program and this platform is. Contracting Chatter is all things government contracting, all things business. I'm your host, Luciana Turner. I have what year is this? 2024? Over 20 years in government contracting. It's 24 years at this point. Um, my majority of my experience is in the audit side. What does that mean? I was a compliance auditor, so I did the DCAA audits. I have some GAO experience where GAO audited the firm that the company I worked for when I was in corporate. When I went out on my own, I went on my own because I saw when I interacted with our small business subcontractors during the course of the audit, there was too much I didn't know. Nobody told me. I didn't learn. So I started my company to consult businesses operating in the government spaces on the complete package. So many people are going for the proposals until they're not operating and understanding there's a lot more to government contracting than that. Then, as I was running my business, I learned that a lot of government contractors forget their businesses. I don't understand that. You forget their businesses. The reason the big dogs become big dogs is because they recognize both sides of the coin. You are a government contractor and you're a business. So, contracting chatter's born. So, I want to quantify the statement. Certifications are useless, except for the 8A. Most people, when they go into government contract, and I've seen it on every board that I've been in, every space that I'm in, I'm currently in this entrepreneurial space, and they're looking, and part of the space as you go through the program is they want you to repay the space by becoming a mentor. And they asked, were there any government contracting specialists? Of course, I've answered. And then there's another person who said they just got certified and they wanted to know what to do. And the first thing somebody said was, get certified, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And the first thing I told her was, I don't know what you want to do, but the certification is useless if you don't have your back end together. This is why I say certifications are useless. If your back end, and what I mean by back end is your systems and processes are not in place, the certification is garbage. If you can't invoice the government, your certification is garbage. If you don't have policies and procedures in place, your certification is garbage. And I remember having a conversation with somebody I was supposed to do business with. And she kept saying, well, we're just trying to be accountability partners. And when they fill out the certification, then it'll help them with that. No, it doesn't. The certification does not do that. It doesn't help you with your systems. It doesn't help you with any of that. And as much as people keep running people to the SBA doesn't help you specifically with that. Some things you need to pay somebody for. The SBA is there to be a guide with rudimentary, elementary things. When it comes to the nuts and bolts, get in the weeds, somebody to come into your business and help, you will have to invest. But let's go back to certifications being useless. As quiet as it's kept, most government agencies do not meet their small business goals. And when you ask the contracting officers why, the overwhelming, predominant reason why is because small businesses do not have the capacity to meet their needs. Hear what they're saying. Small businesses do not have the capacity. And what does that mean? That means what the contractors officers are experiencing are small businesses coming in wanting to do work for them, but they aren't able to fulfill the contracts. So they're so busy getting certified. They're so busy running around filling out all of these certification paperwork to check a box. They're not working on their capacity building, their capabilities, and their credit. So they win these contracts and then they can't buy the equipment, hire the teams. So you're certified, but what else have you worked on besides getting these certifications? Nobody wants a certified company. They want a fully capable, fully functional, fully competent organization that they can engage with, that can solve their problems. And if you so happen to be certified, then thank God. That is what I mean by certifications are worthless. I use this analogy all the time. Who wants to eat a whipped cream cake? However, if you put a cake on the table that has whipped cream icing, you'll get some takers. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nobody wants to sit down and eat a cake that's wholly whipped cream. Now, for those of you who are going to say, I know people who eat whipped cream, miss me with that. You get the point. So that is what I mean by certifications are useless. Certifications are useless if you do not build your back end, if you do not build your systems, if you do not build a team or have something in place so that when you win the contract award, you can activate a team. That is what I mean. I just wanted to qualify that statement because that is a question I received after I made the statement certifications are useless. Whew. Does that make sense? So my next okay. Next thing is on my last live, I had several questions about how do you how can you work with me? Do I only do group trainings? Because on my masterclass, I launched SustainaCore, which is my monthly training program. It's a DIY program with a SustainaCore is a DIY program. I drop a training each month. There's monthly Q&As included in it. And I jump in the program. We meet up monthly. And I answer your questions. There's a newsletter attached to it. So So I launched that last Friday. Open enrollment is now. If you want more information on it, you can go to my website, my or you can go straight to my scheduling page. There's plenty of information out there. You can hit me in my DMs. I can explain it to you, send you the link to it. And even if you're not going into government contracting, there's plenty of business building information within SustainaCore because the core of your business is the business systems. There's information in there on accounting. I have guests come in and speak on branding and systems building on the legal side of business. So SustainaCore is a good system whether or not you're going into government contracting. SustainaCore is a great program to be in. Yeah. So I received the question, is that the only way anybody can work with you? No. I do one-on-ones. I work with corporations. So I have strategy days where you can come in. We can do it virtually. We can do it face to face. We do a full day where we work on one area of your business. We can do multiple days where we can work on multiple areas of your system, of your business. I offer compliance services to businesses. You need a compliance officer, especially as you scale and grow. I, I'm a compliance officer. I offer that service on retainer. I offer that service on retainer. And so there are various ways to work with me. If you go to my calendar, you can book a consultation. My consultations are not free. However, if you leave the consultation with some type of action plan, that is why I don't do free consultations. Because my coach got on to me about that. So my coach told me to stop doing free consultations. I have a coach. I have multiple coaches. She fired me up when she saw what I was doing for free. She was like, no, charge for that. So I no longer charge. I charge for my consultations. However, if you go to move forward, a portion of that consultation fee goes towards the service that you go for, that you book with. So I just wanted to address those questions that came up from the last live. My podcast episode, I'm switching the order. The last one that posted was proposal development. That's live. And when I looked at my last analytically, I'm doing fine, Mohammed. How are you? I didn't respond to you. I didn't see an inbox from you if you sent me an inbox. Um, I didn't. I don't. Okay, I'm confused. Because I didn't see a call request from you. Oh, sorry. What was the last thing I was saying? I don't remember the last thing I was saying. Okay, I do something called Contracting and Business Week. Oh, you want me to add you to the live? Do you have a question? Drop the question in the chat first, and then I'll bring you up. I'm hesitant to bring people into the live I don't know, and I don't know you. Sorry. So I'm doing a summit in July called Contracting and Business Week. It's July 8th through the 12th. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see the Contracting and Business Week I did last year, where we talked about leadership ethics. I always do an Ask Me Anything live as a part of that. Now, that summit I run strictly, hopefully by then I can run it on, stream it to YouTube. I can run it on TikTok. That summit will have a paid component to it because I will have a workbook that goes along with it, and I will have an action part that goes along with it as well. So it's free admission, but there is a VIP component that where you will go deep dive, ask questions for that summit. That registration, just be on the lookout for the registration for the Contracting and Business Week Summit. That's July 8th through the 12th. So we just have a few things going on. And oh my God, that other point was a very, very important point that just totally went out of my head. So with that, I'm going to end this morning's segment because I wanted to talk about tomorrow. I'm talking about the FY25 budget. So join me tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to talk about the FY25 budget. I've already talked about the tax component and how that affects everybody as an individual and a business. So if you have not gotten your taxes together, and I really do see that tax component passing, because I'll get that together. And there's some other interesting things in the FY25 bill that I want to talk about, and I'm going to save that for tomorrow morning when I can go into it in detail. So join me tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for another installment of Contractors Chatter. If you have any questions that arise out of this morning's segment, drop them in my DMs for right now. Please be respectful, and I'll address them like I did today. So have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow morning.